Welcome back to the return of the Wings versus Rings podcast. Had to take a couple
Sir.
weeks off for some real life stuff, but hey, we got it handled and we're back and we're ready to talk ball. And there's a lot more weeks
Sir.
to go off of now. So,
A lot
um,
more.
I'm Dylan, running for Philly,
And I'm
repping
Seth.
for Philly. Let's get it
I'm
started.
sorry.
No, you're good, bro.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
I'm done.
It's
All
been a
right, I'm
while.
Seth.
You're Dylan. We can switch to this episode.
Yes, sir.
I'd rather
Yes,
be a
sir.
Drake May fan.
I'd
I'm
rather be
kidding.
him.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay.
I'd definitely rather be. I love Drake May. He's my glorious king.
All right, so
He can
I
only
want to let's hop right back into it, man. Let's talk ball. It's been a couple weeks
Seriously.
now since we were able to do so. Eagles are now sitting at a glorious five wins and 2 losses.
The Patriots.
Unfortunately, those 2 losses aren't the ones that I'd be like more okay with. But at the same time, I don't know if that's better or worse for real. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, to me, exactly. I hate that we lost to the Raiders and Steelers.
I hate that we lost
Same
to
boat.
the Broncos and Giants. I hate the fashion we lost to the Giants more than anything. But
I think
regardless,
that's
doesn't matter who the 2 losses are. It's 2 losses at the end of the day. 5 wins. We're sitting at a pretty spot, right? Top of the Easts. Both. We're winning right now. We
Exactly.
are winning. If the season ended today, no, I'm just playing.
second seed.
So I'm just gonna hop right into that Eagles game. If you don't mind, I gotta get some of this stuff off my chest. They're dropping those 2 straight games. We got to get right in Minnesota against Carson Wentz. And my GOAT, Jalen Alexander Hurts, love that guy.
Oh yeah.
3 touchdowns, 326 passing yards, and 19 of 23. Almost said from the field. Also, I'm ready for basketball, man. Tip off tomorrow, but we'll talk that later. And the first quarterback this season with a perfect passer rating. I loved it.
That was to do it against the Vikings too. Like that's the most
Yeah.
impressive thing to me.
The number one
honestly.
pass defense.
Yeah.
Man, did it
That's
feel good.
and to go at them like the Vikings are a great defense, but some people consider maybe their weakness being the run game. So I figured that was what you guys would lean on ultimately.
Well,
But
that
to
was the
go
game
at
plan.
them strength for strength, like
No, that was the game plan was to run. I watched a lot of pressers and stuff and in locker room talks with the like after the game, and everyone kind of had the same story. Jalen said without giving anything away, really, that the plan was to run these heavier sets. We had a lot of sets where we had an extra lineman in like a tight end kind of formation, heavy sets, and to run it specifically from under center, because we've been a very big shotgun running team, a lot of in the gun. So it was trying to change things up, and while some of it worked, it wasn't working enough. And it was actually Devonte Smith on the sideline talking to his lineman, telling him what he saw, what he wanted, and apparently Landon and Devonte went to Kevin and said like we could do this with the way they're playing. And it's exactly what they did, which is what ultimately led to that 79-yard touchdown, I believe, to Smitty. He basically called his own number, and that's when everything shifted to all right. Now we're gonna go strength for strength. So it wasn't the
yeah.
plan, but they executed it. So it was awesome. It was a fun game to watch. I thought defense looked great, but I want to get to that after the offense. Do you think Smith is the best receiver the Eagles have ever drafted?
Smith.
Devontae.
Yeah.
I think he's the best
Trying
wide
to think of
receiver
some
ever
guy.
drafted by Philly.
Oh, you got Sean Jackson, right? Was he drafted by Philly?
Yes.
Harold Carmichael, but I mean that was the olden
Yeah,
days.
it's hard
He
to
was just
it's a hard question because the Eagle greats are people we didn't watch. Like I almost said
He's
Chris
probably
Carter,
gonna
but he
be.
wasn't a Philadelphia draft pick. Yeah,
That's
T.O. wasn't
true.
drafted there. So like there are a lot of greats that have played, but that's why I formatted the question this way. Is he the best we've ever drafted? Personally, it probably could have been Justin Jefferson, but
I mean, if it's like that, if it's like you did draft, then it is Chris Carter. But obviously, he didn't make his money there. He didn't make his living there. He got cut. Um, yeah, probably Smith. Like in
then he
terms of
went
like
to
what it's gonna
Minnesota and
be.
went crazy. Yeah, I think so
Yeah,
too. That was his career high in yards. He reset the career high. It's also the most receiving yards any receiver in the NFL has had this year. So it was a very strong game, and I thought Jalen looked incredible in and outside of the pocket. There are some issues, of course, to address. The health on offensive line, the offensive line's play in general has been worrisome to me, which is ultimately really hard for me to say. I mean, something I feel like I've had pride in for like the last 5-6 years of my life. Just like we got stout, baby. Like we're good, we good. we good up front, and right now we're not. We are not good up front. The issues at
Tough
right
post
guard,
guard, Nick. Yeah.
yeah, they're continuing. Um, Jurgens, Landon, and
Who's
Lane are hard to keep on the field. Steen is the current starting right guard. Is that what you're gonna say?
I thought, yeah, I was gonna ask who's the starter. Yeah,
Pre-virus
there's still two
isolation.
that
It's
are.
bad. Yeah. And we just like Saquon. I'm gonna refer to the eye test here. Saquon looks good when he gets his touches. He looks good. He's still explosive. He had that big touchdown reception that was actually another audible by Jalen. Which I'm mentioning all of this for a reason. We'll get to it later, but it was a call by Jalen at the line of scrimmage to get him on a wheel route against a linebacker and beat him with pure speed. He looks incredible when he gets the ball. His burst is there. We do not get to the second level. Like the offensive line issues, they're so worrisome at this point. But there were a lot of big, crucial moments where they did step up and do their job. One of those moments being to start the game to set the tone. That touchdown to AJ on 4th down and 4. He had forever back there. He got to call a second play midway through. Like it
They
was
start
nice
playing
to see
backyard
them.
ball.
Yeah, it was nice to see them get right. It was nice to see the O line have big moments, but it's definitely still something I'm a little bit concerned about. And before I move on from that, I mean, what a day, right? Like 300 some combined receiving yards for AJ and Smitty. Jalen looked incredible passing the ball, which is what they always question if he can do. I loved it. So,
I feel like they question if he can do it consistently. I feel like that's more so the question, if I'm being honest, for a
I
lot
think
of
it's also
people.
a cherry pick stat though,
It is, yeah, it is.
because they don't go
Yes.
like I believe, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But when he throws 30 plus times, like 30 on the dot, he's like 20-5 or something. But if you go up 2 passes to 32 plus, it's like below 500. So I feel like it's just
Yeah,
such a cherry pick stat. I get it. I
that's where they draw the
understand it,
line.
but it's 30 is
How far
still
can you
that's
push
a
this number?
yeah 30 pass attempts in a game is that's pretty good volume. So he only did it on 23 attempts in this one. I want to talk about the defense a little before we move on to Drake Lee May and how great he's
I
been.
had a couple questions if I could
Oh,
just
sure.
just for you, like, okay, so the standard for Philadelphia is like the number one offensive line in the league, right?
Yeah.
Where do you like you're worried about them, but where do you think they fall in that regard? Like, I still think they're a top unit, even if they're worse than they were last year. They were just so much ahead of the game. I'm not saying they're one or maybe even top 10 at this point, but they got to be a top 16 offensive line in the league still, right? Or is it that bad? Like when you're watching the week to week, you're like, Jesus Christ, I can't
So
believe this is what I have.
I wouldn't go that far where I think it's bottom 16, but I think the numbers would probably disagree with me right now. Like I'm just saying that because of things I read. I have a lot of I absorb a lot of Eagles media, so I don't go and fact check everything I read. But one of the things I read is that we literally have a below average offensive line this year, and that's something we haven't had in a long time. So, uh, but yeah, my level of worry is it's getting larger by the week, and it's because we have all our starters out there. It's not looking great, and then our starters start to get hurt. Jurgens got hurt in this game. Dickerson's been battling with injuries all season since before the season started with the partial meniscus tear. Was it?
Yeah,
It's been all
I believe so.
season, and now we're losing pieces. Lane's only getting older. Uh, but yeah, I'm definitely getting worried about it. But it's like I really really wanted to. I'm gonna just say like between Stout, Lane, and Dickerson and Mailata, like I think that those four, the coach and those three pieces together, we should always have a great O line. Let alone, it's been surprising. It's kind of jaw dropping. You said you had a
Yeah, that makes
couple.
sense. Well, some of them pertain to defense. So I don't want to like get into
Oh
that
yeah,
now,
yeah.
but the
I have my
Saquon
notes on
one,
defense.
like his yards per contact, his yards before he gets contact has been so like last year he was averaging like what it was like 5 yards or something
Yeah, it was like
before he was getting contact,
3-4
and
clean
now it's
yards.
and exactly, and now it's like point 0.3 or something like it's something insane, and
It is
obviously that's
bad.
an offensive lineman stat as well. But do you feel that even if you think Saquon's still good, has he taken a significant step back? I want to phrase it like that because obviously he probably has taken a step back. But do you feel like he's significantly like he's not even a top three back in the league currently, or do you still see him in that light?
fluid. Not but I think you have to be like does he still have top big talent? Yes. But I also think that we've seen statistically what goes into or what comes after, LaDainian Tomlinson, right? He's the only one
Yeah,
who's
Chris
ever been able.
Johnson.
Wasn't
Oh,
he the only one who's ever been able to follow up a 2,000 yard season with another like incredible season? Most people have these. Most running backs, they have these great years, and then there's downtime in between. I mean, Derrick Henry feels like he's had three different primes because he has a great high usage year, and then he kind of has an off year or an injury riddled year, and then he's back to it. So I'm gonna keep the faith that his body is just that was a lot of usage last year, and it resulted in a Super Bowl. So I'm hoping we just rely a little bit more on the passing. I don't think it's going to continue to be as bad as it has been. And when I say that, I mean 0 100 yard scrimmage games this season is gross. I need better from him. I need better from the O line, and I really think it starts there personally because, like I said, his burst and his ability to make a play in a crucial moment, it's still there. I mean, I was watching him on a third down and I believe it was third down and 3, and we were in the red zone, and we opted to hand him the ball, and he was hit in the backfield, did a spin move, and somehow got the first down. Or maybe he didn't. I'm pretty sure he got the first down, but if he didn't, he got it close enough that we could tush push, which is a first down. So like
yeah.
he makes the play, like I said, that wheel route touchdown against Denver. He's his burst is still there, his speed is still there, his ability to read a run gap. To me, it looks like it's still there. It's just that there aren't run gaps to read. It's been bad. It's been worrisome, and that to me is really really scary. Just because it's something I feel like I've never had to worry about as an Eagles fan. Which I guess will lead me to my last point on offense, my personal last point. I'll answer any other questions if you have any. But I thought Hurts was fantastic at scrambling and keeping his eyes downfield in that Minnesota game, and that's something I have not seen this year. Outside of maybe, I want to say the Dallas game because he was great at scrambling, but he was more effective scrambling and then running. So I want to say that game, but it was a different style because he was able to move with his wide receivers. The wide receivers moved with him, and they were able to get on the same page. Him and AJ with two really really big connections on gotta make it happen downs, and those were plays. The fourth down was great protection, but the third down that Jalen made with AJ, I mean that was just incredible to keep himself alive and make a play with his receiver. So I just wanted to shout that out. But I never lost faith in him. So screw the Eagles fans that did.
Yeah, it's tough being. I mean, just in general, if person in Philadelphia, because you're gonna get scrutinized so hard by your own fan base. But yeah, I mean, he's kept the course, and it feels weird to victory lap a little bit after 1 week. I guess maybe we should give it more time, but it just kind of feels like this is what he's always been. And he's just getting to show it now, and the things around him haven't been like up to par. And for me, at least, I still think he's an awesome quarterback. I don't understand the people that think he's bad, but people want to be ahead of the curve. That's really what it feels like it comes down to. And there's people that just hate Jalen, who've always hated Jalen, and just they don't pass their eye test or whatever you want to say. And he's just proved them wrong time and time again. And it's like as soon as he falls, it's like people are just nipping at the hills to get on top of that. But or don't say anything when he has a good game. Like I haven't seen anything this week about Jalen Hurts having a good game personally.
Yeah, and
They
I
only
go out
want
of
to talk
my way
about
to
when he
find stuff.
fails.
So
Yeah,
I
like
definitely go out of the way.
there's nothing. Everyone's just been radio silent in that regard. So it's kind of frustrating, and I'm not even a fan of the team, but I'm so adjacent to it at this point that I'm locked in enough to know what's going on, and it's like I hate that. There's nothing worse than getting discredited 24/7 and never getting credit when you do something. So I'm glad we're giving his flowers here because he deserves them.
Yeah, even if they're never heard, I'll continue to praise, to
Scream
continue
to the
to sing his
mountaintops.
praise. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't expect him to be great. I definitely do. I expect him to be an amazing player almost at all, in every game. And has he fallen short in moments and in games this year? Yeah. Um, the interception against the Giants when you have a wide open receiver in AJ Brown over the middle, like he forced it. It's his only turnover on the season, so I don't want to like bash him too hard. But I think that his lack of turnovers has also been a bad thing because it's lack of aggression in certain moments. It's I'm gonna run
Yes, I agree.
and take a sack, or I'm gonna run and throw the ball away. And to his credit, the majority of the time he doesn't hurt us, so we don't lose. You know, even if it's ugly and it's gross, we don't lose because he didn't hurt us in those moments. But there's also times where we do need him to be a hero, like he was against Minnesota, and roll out of the pocket, keep the play alive with his legs, and make a play with his arm. You know what I mean? And that's a part of this offense I do feel we've lacked this season until this game in Minnesota. I hope it continues. I know that the identity of the Eagles, in my opinion, is the ability to shift into what you need to be in any given game. Is are we going to run the ball? Are we going to pass the ball? Are we going to rely heavy on our defense? That to me is our identity, and some will say that that's the lack of one. But it won us one last year. I get that you're going to argue it was a running identity, and I'm not going to say you're wrong. But I also felt like we did the exact same thing last year. There was games where Jalen had to get it done. There was games where the defense had to get it done. Saquon just continued to get it done last year. We don't got that right now. But if that's the
You
last
guys
one,
are
I
just
got
playing.
some defensive notes that I'm ready to fire.
Let's get into it. Yeah, get into it. Blast those.
Sorry, I'm honestly it was just like the first good week of football, and after hearing so much about how like we're done and it's gonna be the Supernatural Funk Part 2, like I couldn't do it. So
Yeah.
I'm ready to just sing the praise of everybody. It's hard to give a great grade to this defense when you played Carson Wentz. Okay, I think that's valid to
Mm.
say at this point. I don't mean it in an offensive way. I just think it was, it's hard to say it's a great performance when you play a backup quarterback, and that's what Carson is at this point in his career. Still love the guy, but yeah. So I just want to start with that. However, I love Nakobe Dean and his ability to play the run. I thought we had been awful against the run all damn season. He gets on the field and immediately there's a difference. He's so sound in his run gaps and he is so quick to diagnose a play. He might not have all the physical attributes that you'd love in a linebacker. He's not the tallest. He's probably not the fastest, but I think he has some of the best football IQ on the field at any given time. He was incredible in his first game back. I don't got the stats in front of me. I'm just telling you, when we needed a play to be made, specifically in the run game, that is his specialty, he made it. He's fantastic against the run.
Yeah.
Adoree,
Especially in comparison to Campbell. Like that was his biggest knock coming into the draft. Like maybe he's been decent this year, but he's like a special person in terms of pass coverage. But when you have somebody who's a net negative in the run game, and you put someone in who's that, almost like you put in a run stopping D tackle, you know what I mean? It's like the significant improvement, it it shines. Like when you have someone so low and then you put in someone that's above average, like it feels like night and day.
yeah, and then I wasn't trying to knock Jihad. I think he's been great.
No, no,
And I know you're just
I wasn't
saying
either, but
there's every player has
their
their
flaws.
pros, their cons, yeah, their flaws, and that you're not wrong, and they complement each other well. So I'm excited to have both of those back on this defense. Unfortunately, Adoree got hurt in the last game. With he took a helmet to the helmet. uh,
Mm.
Hope he's good. I think his neck, it's concussion for sure, but I'm hoping his neck is all right. However, I did, want to. I'm the first to go off on a corner when I don't feel they're playing up to par. I thought he had a really, really good day against two incredible receivers. Did he get beat here and there? Yes, but I was killing him all season long, it feels like, and I felt like he was getting it a bit this game, and unfortunately, he left the game with an injury. But I did want to just say that I thought he played pretty solid. And at the time of these notes, this next one's pretty funny. I said we need more pass rush, and then put BG question mark. BG is back, and that is official, so that's great. Love my guy back, even if he doesn't have necessarily the impact on the field that we need. He's leadership, so I'm excited for him to be rejoining the team. Um, I don't necessarily love when players come out of retirement because it plays on my heartstrings, but I'll take it. It's more time with a franchise great, so hopefully
Did Zadarius Smith retire?
he did. I thought that was super weird.
Wow. Yeah, okay. I had seen like one thing about that, and then it was like all BG love, and I was like, was that even the case? Honestly, that seems kind of crazy. I
He
don't know.
retired, and then BG, sorry, BG came back because of it, kind of. So what I watched the pod. BG said that Howie reached out to his agent, asked if he was ready to come back or if he could come back, kind of situation. BG at that point hadn't had time to think about it too much or discuss it with his his family. So he said that he told his agent to tell Howie that he's not ready at this moment, but if there's another opportunity or something, essentially, like if there's another moment where he feels he needs to add a player in that in that spot to give him a call, essentially. He said he prayed on it and just said that if he got that second opportunity, that to him he felt as if it was the sign that let's one more ride kind of
Okay.
situation. So he said that he was actually Zedarius had his locker and that he was talking with Zedarius and there's actually I watched a presser with Zedarius where he said he's got a lot left in the tank. So that's why it was like, dude, you say that when we win, then we lose too, and you're retiring. Come on
Yeah.
now. But regardless, his retirement directly did lead to BG coming out of retirement. So I'll take it at the end of the day.
Mm,
No, no disrespect. I just love BG.
as you should know. He's a great.
And so I just kind of put that we needed more pass rush. And the reason I put that is because when we did have success, that's directly what led to Wentz's two major mistakes. Vic sent a really good disguised blitz in which he dropped back Jalix Hunt, and Jalix got the pick six. Awesome for Jalix. I have to credit Vic with that a little bit more because an edge rusher backing up into coverage was sending. It was an elaborate. It was a good scheme. Got him the interception. We got to put points on the board. We needed it. The interception from Makuba felt more like Carson just being Carson Wentz. He got out of the pocket, escaped, like he always does somehow. But then instead of doing what we were talking about with Jalen, we need a hero, and this is the bad side of it. It goes both ways. He throws it into like triple coverage. So
He's gonna throw the ball. Like he's gonna throw the ball.
that's Carson Wentz. Yeah, not away. He gonna throw it.
Yeah, you gotta
So
check that thing.
I think that we need some help with zone coverage. I know that's kind of vague, but I feel like if we're not running man coverage, we are cooked. And when we are running man coverage, the only reason it even kind of works is because the ones who get beat, they have safety help, so they could play with lower leverage or however they need to play essentially because they know they have help. But if we play a quarterback that's mobile, then they just cook us with their feet. And I'm not going off
Okay.
of one game. I'm talking about the last three games. Like anytime we were in zone, we were just getting gashed by either the run or the pass. It didn't matter. So then it felt like we'd switch to a man concept, like specifically a cover two concept, and then now Dart's taking off. Now Bo Nix is making a play with his legs. Carson Wentz is
Yeah.
making plays with his legs. So it's like I know it's kind of choose your battles, but we need something to
Yeah.
change.
We
It's
need
gotta
gap
shift.
integrity
Yeah, it
by these
hasn't been
players.
what I want. Um, QB scramble awareness.
Mm.
Need it. Need it.
That that actually makes me when you were that brings up another point in my mind that you talking about zone specifically just lit something up about again offense. I know we're talking about defense, so maybe I should say this towards the end. But
No, no, no.
what the Vikings did you see a lot of zone or were you seeing? Do you think you were seeing mostly man like when you were watching the game? Where you're like this is man coverage like
As in what we were getting look wise,
what you were getting from their defense? Yeah.
it felt like it honestly felt like Brian Flores. That's his name, right? It feels wrong for some reason. I feel like he changed his plan of attack. Like honestly, aren't they known for being kind of another team that blitzes a lot?
Yeah, super blitz heavy,
Like
like
so
highest blitz rate in the
blitz
league,
so high blitz
and
rates
coverage
usually
on the
equals
backside.
man, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we got like a lot of blitzes. I'd have to look at the numbers. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe we just handled them better than I anticipated. But
That
it
that's why I
didn't
bring
feel
this
like
up
they
though,
didn't. Yeah, it felt weird.
because the biggest struggle people bring up when it comes to Jalen Hurts' passing isn't when it's man coverage; it's when it's zone. They think he's significantly worse when it's not just AJ Brown one on one, or it's not a 1-2 read. It's like oh this heady one. No, they say he's worse against zone,
To be fair,
and that's why I was curious if they had pivoted to zone and he was just tearing them up anyways, or if they were just like we're gonna do what we always do, and he got to shine in his strength.
so just kind of like off memory because sometimes I'll be honest when I'm watching an Eagles game, I could be less like football minded while watching it as far as like schematics go, specifically on offense because I'm watching my team
Can't see the whole
with my
field
heart.
anyways.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little bit hard. It's harder to diagnose from not an all 22 angle.
Mhm.
But if I had to say, just based on who was closest on that fourth down touchdown to AJ to start the game out, he was on linebacker. or Metellus. I know he's kind of like a hybrid, but that's not a good matchup. So I would assume that that probably has something to do with a blitz on that fourth down, which makes sense. Send some pressure, and it didn't work. It was all or nothing, and then we got lucky in that, not lucky, but you know what I mean. Like we made a play when we needed
Yeah.
to make a play. So based on that, I'd probably say there was definitely some man coverage. And then when I think about it,
Sure.
I feel like Smitty's was zone, but I could be wrong. But if it wasn't zone, it was definitely man with people still up top, like a cover two type of situation. Because Patullo talked about his ability to beat his guy with speed and then also keep that kind of momentum, but still move the safety. So to me, that screams there's someone over top at a minimum, which is it's still man, but
No,
man
I was
with
just curious
help.
about that. Not like a gotcha moment like that. I wasn't like because I was just genuinely curious because I feel like people's biggest knock about Jalen's passing ability is zone coverage and anticipation. So I was curious if that how the game unveloped, no,
Yeah.
unfolded.
I get what you're saying. So
So
the only
that's
other
just
things I really had on here was Jake's miss from not too far out. It was like a 42 yarder, I believe. That kind of sucked, but he's been money prior to that and was after that. So hopefully it's just a one off. Everybody misses here and there. I just after last year, it's hard not to immediately start getting nervous again when he gets trotted out there. But again, he was 6 of 6 on field goals prior to that, 19 of 19 prior to that with extra points. So he uh he gets a pass in my book for that one. Trade deadline
so
soon, man.
that's what I was gonna ask. So I know obviously you want a third corner,
It'd be great. Second,
and you see
really.
that a second one. That's
Not
that's kind of what I
hate the
mean.
Dejean, but like just for what he plays, we need another boundary.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to ask you this year. Do you feel about defense specifically? Do you feel like these rookies that played out of their mind last year have like taken a step forward, backwards, stay the same? Like, how do you feel about their development so far throughout the year?
I think Makuba's been incredible. He's a
Yeah,
rookie.
he's
I know
awesome.
you asked about last year's
Yeah.
rookies, but I just had to give him some love. He's special. He's what I wanted, and it makes more sense. He's a higher sought after player. He's second round pick, uh, but he's what I wanted Sidney Brown to be. So that I just had to show him some love. But to answer the actual question, Quignon's been insane. I think he gets better every week. It was a little bit weird in that Denver game to see Cortland Sutton be kind of the first to get the best of him. But against every superstar, he actually had some games where he was following, which I thought was cool. Vic isn't known for allowing Vic Fangio, our defense coordinator. He's not known for allowing that. So I thought it was pretty cool to have a corner with that capability. Cortland Sutton did kind of torch him all day. So again, sucked. But outside of that game in specific, I think he's been incredible. I think he gets better. Going on to Coop, I don't know if there's been improvement, but there hasn't been a step back, and he's been big in needed moments. He had a one-on-one breakup against Jefferson this week in the end zone. That was great, but I also feel like I've seen him in zone coverage get caught lacking or get caught being too oriented on the quarterback's eyes. And when you play good quarterbacks, i.e. Matt Stafford, they move you with their eyes. They know what they're doing. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but those two players, they're still great. I love Coop. I don't think he's getting worse. I think he's only going to get better. But to answer the question, I haven't seen a ton of improvement from last year. But when he was great. We'll take that. Quinion though, man. I, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just a homer, even though I wasn't born there. But I think he's top 3 in the league. I really do. Like he's so good. He's so freaking good.
I feel like that's crazy to say because the cornerback position year by year, there's such steep fall offs in my opinion. Like I think Stingley's an amazing player, but he was like cemented top 3 last year. I feel like it's very much a conversation that he is not a top 3 cornerback
He
in the
doesn't
league.
have an interception, and I think a lot of people like interceptions out of corners. To me, I want you to do your job. If your name isn't said on Sunday, you did your job, and I didn't hear his name, not one time.
I get you on that, that's for sure. And it just I don't need a cornerback to and there's no fault in his game at all. I don't need a cornerback to be a ball hawk. I don't need a Deron Bland. You know what I mean? I don't need a I mean I love JC Jackson. That was awesome, but the gamble didn't always necessarily feel worth it to me with these players with watching those players. When the ball is flying at you though, I want you to catch it. You know what I mean? Like when it's
Yeah, he's had a
he,
few drops, unfortunately. You talk about Quinion.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
he's got to work on them hands.
that's his only flaw in his game, in my opinion. It's just like if he could create the turnover and not just be, this lockdown player. If he can, when the ball just is coming at him, then the rare instances it does, because he doesn't take gambles. He just puts people in the dirt. Like he blankets everybody. Like, take the person you're looking at out to play. Like that's so
He's
disruptive.
yeah.
It's just he needs to make the play when the play is there to be made.
That's
That's the
fair.
difference
That's a
between great
fair.
and players.
That's a really fair criticism of his game, if I'm being honest. And he didn't get his first interception to the playoffs. So hey, if he's a playoff riser, I'll take it. If it's
Dude,
I'm gambling but
yeah,
still locking your ass down in the playoffs, shit, I'm all for
yeah.
it. But no, it's a very fair criticism. We actually, Makuba's actually the only DB on our team with an interception. Like that is a real stat. So he has
He's
two.
so good, bro.
He has two. Granted, the first one was more of a Kelsey error, but we'll take it. He's been great. He is really good. I think he needs more. Uh, he's had some mistakes in zone coverage, but I think that's like a team issue as a whole. It's
Yeah,
hard to really
he's a
put that
rookie.
fully on him. Yeah. All right, man.
Still on him.
Kelly Green's this week hosting the Giants. I need my get back, but we've talked.
Mm.
We've talked a lot of Eagles. I think it's time to get on over to the good stuff. Because I'm sipping the Kool Aid too. I mean, it might be your fault, but
Yeah,
I've been fully sipping the Drake Lee May Kool Aid and
yeah.
pause.
That dude is him, bro.
I think he's better and better, but I'm gonna let you take the reins on this one.
Yeah, it's more just like how you were talking about the Eagles. It's more of like an overall season thing, more so than just this week because we've been gone for so long. It's hard to talk about week to week stuff. Or just this what happened just this last week because it was the Titans, right? Like at the end of the day, it's the Titans. Is it awesome that he broke Brady's completion record like for
If
a
I gotta
game?
cut you off just a little bit, if it's anybody else, like if it's Mahomes against the Raiders, which we'll get to, good
Yeah,
teams handle bad teams, and you guys did that. It was a little iffy for like what the first two drives, but after that, it felt like domination. But
yeah.
you were
It
the
was.
locked
We
in
start
ones.
slow. We start slow every week, and that's my biggest gripe. If we could just get into like who we are quicker, because we shut them out in the second half. We've shut a lot of teams out in the second half. We just start so slow. And overall, since we haven't talked about like this season at all, I wanted to talk about like the Raiders loss first. Like, I don't understand. Looking back, I don't understand that at all. That feels like a different team. I know it's week one. A lot of stuff happens week one. That's like the only inexplicable stain on this season so far for me. Because everything we're great at, we were awful at in that game. So it's a little weird, but I'm just glad to be where we're at currently. Like even if these 5 weeks are the peak of my Drake May life, like these 5 weeks have been euphoria. I can't believe this in my life right now. He's been unreal, like accurate. He's always had that touch, but to couple that with like his ability to move and just always staying ahead of schedule, not taking these sacks or negative plays that put us behind schedule and put us on third and or second and 15s. Like that was the biggest thing for me last year. And the noticeable improvement for me, he's always had this touch. He's always had this deep ball. He's always had this ability to make plays whenever I watch him. I mean, everyone saw that. He passed the eye test. It was getting sacked on first and 10 and it being second and 13 now. And if we have, two or three first downs, it being completely negated by a holding call and then a sack and then a fumble or something. Like those sloppy footballs what killed us last year. And I'm so grateful to have Mike Vrabel because even though we are the most we've committed the most penalties in the NFL this year, it's not to the same level of like detriment that was happening last year.
I didn't
It was
even know that.
unbelievable. Yeah, we are not like we're a disciplined team in the big moments, but there's a lot of like ticky tack stuff that we just do that is just like personal, roughing somebody, personal fouls, like unsportsmanlike conduct. It's like I
More you
don't love
guys
to
to
see
play through
that.
the whistle, but not after.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they have an edge to them that they didn't have last year. And I feel like that's the difference in a lot of moments. But why are we just spearing the quarterback? Like, why are we putting our heads down and just spearing some guy? Like, that's ridiculously, yeah.
Well,
It,
it is harder
there's
to
some
fix
bias.
things in victories. 5-2 though,
Yeah,
man. All
yeah. That's
things
not where
said
I thought
again,
we'd
this
be.
is an incredible start to the season. Um,
Yeah,
this
May.
He looks
He's
better in the
MVP in my
pocket.
book.
He looks so much better
Oh
in the
yeah.
pocket.
I think that's Josh McDaniels though, honestly. A lot of stuff. And that's what I was gonna say about the completion stat. To me, that's more of a team stat because your receivers have to not drop the ball like that 4th and 3 to Demario Douglas. Like May put that behind him significantly, and Demario like has to stop all his momentum. 4th and 3, reach back, one hand, grab it, bring it in, like that. Your offensive line has to stay up for you to throw the ball away, things like that. It's more of a team stat to me than Drake May just being like insane. But it's still awesome to see whenever you break the GOAT's records or things like that, like, you're having a great season. When you're being put in conversations with 2018 Mahomes, 2007 Brady, 2016 Breeze, you're having an amazing year. Like, he's
He's the
taking
truth.
that leap faster than I thought he would.
He is the truth. No, I
And
agree with that.
I he's, like, the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. Like, that's where I'm starting to feel that way. Like, it's unbelievable what he's been able to do. Maybe that's crazy to say because people put that stuff on like Tua and Brock Purdy, like that's their consolation. It's like, oh, he's so accurate though. Drake May, I maybe Sam Darnold's been statistically more accurate, but I feel like Drake May has just put everything in a bucket. Everything is just like he's handing it off to somebody 30 yards down the field. Like
Not
it's
to
ridiculous.
not to like discredit Sam, but he's got JSN K9. Like those two players alone are much
Oh
better
yeah,
than what you guys have. Well, maybe not
that's
K9.
really why
Maybe
it's
not K9,
impressive.
but JSN is a fantastic receiver. So it's like
Yeah,
not
Jason's
to
playing top
yeah.
five right now. He's playing
So
top five right now.
yeah, no, no
It's not,
doubt.
and it's not close.
It isn't. He's been amazing. I wish I had him in
Ridiculous.
fantasy. So I do have a couple questions about this game in specific. I haven't been super locked into the Patriots games. You know, I know your schedule. I know what's going on with you guys. I talked to you, so uh, what's going on with Henderson, man? I got him in one of
He
these fantasy leagues, dude. Like, what? I'm still holding on.
honestly, I understand why he's not playing. It's just so bizarre for someone to be touted as this great pass catching back, great pass blocking back of the out of college, and for him to be like a net negative in the pass game is I didn't see that coming. That's really what it comes down to. He cannot block to save his life. He cannot stop from committing penalties when he is in the game. And penalties hurt us, and you have to be able to protect the quarterback. And ultimately, I feel like he has no vision. Uh, he just puts his head down and just runs into the lineman. He gets like 2 yards of carry. He The difference between him and the preseason and right now is like night and day. I don't understand if it's a confidence issue, if it's a fundamental issue. It doesn't make sense to me. But on top of all that, Ramadre, like for 5 of the 7 weeks, he's been in a like an elite back for us. He's been great. He's had moments that are really bad. That Steelers game is unexcusable. He's always had a fumbling issue. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. But he's also had that Miami game. We don't win that without Ramadre. He had this last game. We were destroying the Titans up front, and he was averaging like 8 yards a carry. Like you can't take that out off the field, you know.
I agree.
Um, but it really comes down to a supernatural funk. Like that's what it is. He cannot
So
do everything he was touted to be out coming out of college.
tell me how I knew you
It's
gonna
been the
say that
exact
word.
opposite.
I don't know why. Like I don't
Gotta
even really
gotta
know
bring
it.
it
Like
back.
I couldn't even define touted, but I like knew it was gonna be used there.
Yeah, rated. That's a synonym. Highly rated
So is this
player
week's
coming out
like
of
you
college.
you mentioned it? He was averaging 8 a carry. Credit to him, but that you guys were dominating up front. I actually had written here to ask
Yeah.
you like, was that more like O line greatness in that game, or was it like the Titans defensive line was more of the
Well,
story and being bad?
I would I would give it to more of the Titans being bad, especially because Simmons went out with an injury in like the first quarter.
So you
I
need
would
context.
definitely attribute that to 67% of the reason why. But also I think our offensive line has taken a significant step forward. And I'm just grateful for that. Because we were the worst offensive line in the league last year. And we are still technically below average. But that is night and day. When you're 17th instead of 32nd, that is so significant of an improvement. It's ridiculous. And they're rookies. There's a left tackle and a left guard are rookies. They're starting on that side. They're only going to get better. I'm hoping. Maybe I'm hoping right now above everything. But they could be the duo for the next X amount of years for us. Like, and that to have that foundation is like I'm blessed to like finally have some hope. But I also want to talk about the defense. Like Drake May, we didn't really glaze him enough.
Oh no, I agree.
I will say a little bit. He's MVP to me. He's MVP to me real quick like that. I don't know where you fall on that. Maybe I'm taking it
He's
too
top
far,
three.
so I can take a step back. Yeah, top 3 MVP odds for sure. But I think he's playing like this year. He's a top 5 quarterback. He's playing as of right now, October 21st. He is a top 5 quarterback in the
That's a
NFL with
drop the date.
injuries and stuff.
Stamp it. I was the first to
Yeah.
say that he was Michael Jordan. No, I don't know
he
when we
bro,
talked about him. I mean, probably the
he's
first
awesome.
episode, right? Because that's when we did NFC and AFC East. But
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it then. I'm pretty sure I directly said this while we were recording. What you hope he is the next Josh Allen, and he's been better than Josh this year. I don't think that's crazy to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
outside
think
of
it's
that
fair to
first
say that.
game and what that Josh had against Baltimore and what Baltimore's defense has been going forward, to me that just makes it makes it easier to not discredit, but to lower.
It gives
I
more
don't, I don't,
context.
yeah, you lower the bar a little bit because it's like, or raise it, I guess. You know what I mean? Like you raise the bar of expectation because that defense is so bad. You want to see people put up stats like that. But Drake, even head to head, he looked better. He made the plays all night. Not that Josh looked bad that night in specific, but I thought Drake looked incredible. I mean, the throws he was making on the move, on the sideline. Credit to Diggs. Those were great catches, sure-handed, late hands. You love that. I love that. Yeah, you're right. We didn't glaze him up. This dude's incredible. But I think we got it
Yeah.
right. And I think that's why people are glazing
That's been the
because they were
peak.
wrong. You know what I mean? And not to say
Yeah.
that you're more right than I was. I'll admit it. I liked Jaden out of college, and it's always nice to be right about something. But when they go to a division rival, I instantly told my boy here that I'm hopping on the Drake Lee May train. I'm a hater
Yeah.
now. He said he wanted Drake May the whole time. I could vouch for that. The whole time. That's who he wanted at 3. Slash
I
like
think he,
Abdul Carter in the chance that you couldn't get Drake, right? Or was
yeah.
it regardless?
No, it wasn't Abdul. It was I was leaning
Oh
Marvin
yeah, Abdul was
Harrison.
last year. Yeah, that's what it was. Sorry.
Yeah. I was
Um,
like Marvin Harrison would be nice. It'd be so
yeah.
nice.
Point being, you wanted Drake of the
Yeah.
quarterbacks available. Even if you could move up to 1, like you weren't really talking Caleb Williams. Not to say that you wouldn't have been a Caleb Williams fan,
Yeah.
but you were
If
you were
if we were
already
at one.
sipping the Kool Aid, and I was in the preseason, and I'm glad that I don't have to like walk it back.
I think it's just a
He's
coaching
looked
staff
great.
effect. Yeah. More not to discredit him. He's awesome. I think the infrastructure around him has just been so solid. Like it's helped him blossom. And our weapons aren't amazing, but they've taken a step forward, and he's elevated them maybe to an extent. So I'm very happy with the product on offense. I'm extremely happy. We are so good on that side of the ball. We're the 6 points per game team in the NFL. Like
It's awesome.
I didn't think that was going to be the case. I didn't think that was going to be the case at all this year. And then our defense, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed with our defense because
That's where I was
I
going next.
expected them to be great. I expected them to be this amazing unit, like talent wise, free agents who brought in like Mel Williams has been everything I wanted to be, but Spillane's been a little bit disappointing.
Is this how you felt when I was talking about the Eagles? You keep like jacking my questions.
Nah, well, a
All
little
the time
bit,
you're
yeah,
like,
because
I miss Milton, bro. Like I was like, you treat him well down there. Is he doing great?
dude,
I know he had a
he
sack
he
last game,
sealed
right? Too.
games.
Like, oh my
Yeah,
god, I love Milton Williams, dude. And I
he
think that's
sealed a
on
lot of games for us.
that's
Like
on
a
record
lot.
for us too, right? We talked about him in episode 1. God, I love that guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
I miss him so much.
but overall we've been one of the worst pass defenses in the league, and that sucks. The bulk of like that struggle was before Christian Gonzalez came back. We've been more towards the median ever since he has came back. But it's still I thought that was gonna be our strength. I thought we were gonna have a good pass rush and we have corners on the back end that can hold up. When you pay someone 20 million a year in Carlton Davis, who every single game seems to go out with some knick-knack injury, it's like it kind of gets frustrating. It's at a certain point where it's like, why do you always have to take a knee after getting hit? Like, like are you playing through an injury or are you just being soft? Like, I don't want soft players on my team. Like, really, if I'm being honest, like even if you're getting burnt all the time, I want you to be physical and be tough and all of the above.
I hear you,
And
and I know it doesn't sound the greatest because we're watching from the couch and stuff like that, but
yeah,
it's still it's fair, it's accurate. Like at the end of the day, I'm I'm a fan of this football team. I put so many hours in. I want you, like, I'm out here repping it for real. I'm thinking, part of my friends here, but I'm taking several people on the streets the last 2 weeks being an Eagles fan, and I want all the glory when things are going great. So I expect the same from the players who actually play for this team,
Yeah,
make money for this team. Like, you know what I mean? This is your job. Show some pride.
yeah.
So I just
Show
wanted
some
to
pride.
elaborate a little bit because I know it does kind of sound a little crazy when you're saying it from the couch, but we're
Yeah,
showing pride
but
as fans. We
you could
expect
compare
more.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you could compare like someone like Marcus Jones, who's made all these plays this year, who's 5'8", you know, he's one of the smallest corners in the league. He is
five
getting
eight.
blown up week to week, and he is just getting up and walking it off.
Yeah,
He's
that's how I feel
happy
about
to,
Smitty every week.
yeah, it's something about being physical and being like comfortable with the physicality that you see in some of these players. And you expect that, especially when he is someone you're paying. We're not paying a lot of players on defense. He's one of the few people we're playing, and it feels like he just keeps just going out. I don't know. I don't want to say he's not hungry for it or anything like that. That's crazy. It's just very frustrating when it's like, oh, who's down? Oh, it's Carlton Davis again. Oh, he's back in. A series later. It's like
No,
I don't know.
I get it, and it could go multiple ways. Like we're not saying you can't get banged up, just for the record, because it makes me think about
Yeah,
it makes me think
definitely
about
could.
Slay. Slay got banged up a lot. He'd exit the field a lot, but he was also so quick to be like, tape it up. Let me get back out there. Like if you're getting banged up, that's one thing. But I want to see some fight in you. Like, get me back on the field. Let's tape this up. Let's go. Like, I need show some urgency. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah,
not watching, so I'm
exactly.
definitely jumping to a conclusion. But I don't think you're gonna call someone soft when you see that like. They're on the sideline talking about getting me back in ASAP, please. Like I'm trying to
Yeah.
go get back out there for my guys. Like
And it's like every other drive. It's
yeah,
honestly really
I
frustrating.
feel
It's
like it
like
was like once a
every
game
other drive.
with Slay.
Like it's crazy. But anyways, to get to the point, we've been really good against the run. I knew we were. I'm glad we have been great against the run because we were so bad last year. I believe we were 31st against the run last year. And it's when you can run on an NFL team, everything else is easier. Every single
I
thing
might know
else,
it.
like it's
I might
ridiculous.
know the opposite of it this
So
year.
so I'm just grateful for being stout against the run, but we need to up that pass level defense. And I think we can be we could be I don't want to say contenders. I'm not jumping the gun like that, but we can win a playoff game.
Okay, so
And that's really all
actually,
I
no,
care
I
about.
want to jump the gun. I want to jump the gun. I'm gonna cut you off because right now I think the NFL media is jumping the gun with the Colts. I'd rather, and I mean this. This might be crazy. I'd rather put my money, like my actual money, on the Patriots as actual contenders versus the Colts. Is that crazy to say? I know what they've been
Nah,
doing
I
offensively.
feel
I
that way deep down.
understand that. I understand that. But I'm talking about, to me, the most important like player on the field is your quarterback. Give me Drake May over Daniel Jones any day of the damn
Every day
week.
of the
No
week. Yeah.
disrespect to what Daniel's been able to get done this season. Just straight up, I want Drake May. I don't really want to say this coaching aspect because I like, I got love for Shane. But at the end of the day, as great as he could be, is even,
Hmm.
you still got to. I'm giving the edge to Vrabel. I think most people are going to give the edge to Vrabel in that situation. Is it, it's not the best when you're saying you like right now, your worries are defensive based, which is fair. But when you have
Hmm.
Vrabel, I'm sure you were hoping that wouldn't be something you're concerned about. But
And the talent. I feel like we have a lot of talent. That's some more talents inside the ball, and it's our worst
but I want to jump the gun.
maybe.
Is what I was trying to get at. I'd rather jump the
Yeah.
gun on the Patriots. I know that's probably not the best thing to say to you because now I'm making your head bigger about the situation. So now they can let you down. So I understand that, not wanting to get your hopes too high. But I just mean as far as like a team's respect verbally when you speak on them, if we're now calling the Colts legit contenders, which I'm not saying they're not, I'm just saying that if they qualify, there's no way in my mind, there's no way that the Patriots don't. I'll just leave it
I
at
also
that.
feel like we're built. I feel like we're built more for January as well too. I'm not gonna lie. Not that the Colts feel like the Dolphins because they've beaten good teams and they've been. I mean, they're on a historic pace,
No, no, we got to get
running
back
the
to the
ball,
Pats. Got to get
scoring.
back to the Pats. We will
No,
get to
so
the
yeah,
Pats.
I know this is a Pat's point. It's just
Just making
your
sure.
quarterback. You win games in January because your quarterback.
And I like
I'm
Drake
not sold
May.
on Daniel Jones yet. Maybe 12 weeks from now, I will be sold on Daniel Jones more so. I don't know. Jonathan Taylor, he feels like the engine that is running this team. And specifically, if we're talking head to head, I feel like our strengths are against the run. Like we will make your quarterback pass. Maybe he kills us. Maybe he doesn't. I do feel like we're probably a better team than them, I think.
I would
And
agree.
that is being big headed. for sure, because there's no like statistical stat to back that up. It's just how I feel,
It's how I feel about your
and that's never a
quarterback
good
more
thing
than
per se.
anything. Quarterback coach are just so
Yeah,
big to me, and I'm
they're so huge.
give me the
Like
Pats
exactly.
in that situation.
But when I say contender, I mean like the Bills probably still got it over us,
I don't know about
and
that. You're
I
head
think
to
the
head
Chiefs at
winning.
this point. Yeah, no, we're winning the AFC. Is true.
I don't even know about that.
Uh,
I'm not saying that you are or aren't winning the East. I just mean when you literally play a team head to head. Yes, that's one of two. There's a second one, but correct me if I'm wrong. That was in Buffalo, no.
yeah, and we get them off a bye week at home
So I
next
would
time.
assume you're going 2-0 against them. If you go 2-0 against them, I mean, I'm not looking at your schedule. Is the rest of the way get harder? Like, how do you feel about the rest of the schedule?
No, the two most difficult games on our schedule is that Bills game and the Ravens game, and the way the Ravens have been playing, who knows? You
In
know,
my
like who knows?
opinion, if you beat them the second time, it's wraps. Like you win the division. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
it's early. It's definitely too early to wrap it up, but
Their schedule's also significantly harder than ours.
that's what I was gonna.
Significantly so.
That was gonna be my second point. Was I
So
just
they
don't
have
know
to be
what we
perfect
face
as
too.
well. Yeah, they have to be perfect as
All
well.
right, so we
They
were
play
almost
like
there.
so
Okay,
many tough teams.
it's
But
been. Sorry, go ahead.
now I just have one more point, and it's I think the special part about our team is that we play complementary football. Our offense has been elite. Our defense has stepped up when it's needed to, even though it's been bad. Like for example, like this last week, we shut out the Titans in the second half. We've been very bad to start games, and we make adjustments, and I love to see that. But our special teams unit has also been extremely elite, and I feel like maybe that's a crazy thing to talk about, but it's an underrated part of the game, in my opinion. It is so influential, and we've been great in all facets this year when it comes to situational football. And that feels like what the Patriots have always been. And I'm just glad to be back to that.
Man, it's been an incredible start to the season for your team. I want to say for mine as well. We both sit at 5-2. I'm optimistic. You know, I'm probably more. I definitely lean towards more of the optimistic side of an Eagles fan. The pessimistic, I think, but there are definitely days where you're gonna catch me in a bad mood. That said,
Yeah.
it's been a little while now, so we are pretty much almost at that midway point of the season. So I think it's just time for us to kind of admit some wrongs and maybe take a couple victory laps.
Oh, yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
guess we should just start it with what we've kind of already mentioned, which is the Colts. I
Yeah.
said off record, I said this to you that I thought that they could be last year's Saints after the first like week or two. I think maybe I said it week 3. I'm not sure. Point being, I was wrong. I don't even need to elaborate on that one. Uh, they've been incredible offensively. I'm gonna let you take it away because I know you're a little more familiar with the stats, considering
Yeah.
whose presence they're in. You know.
Yeah. The company they're a part of.
Yes, thank you.
I, I, I gotta admit that I'm wrong in the Colts too. Like they have more wins already currently at this point in the season, week 7, than I had projecting throughout the year. Like they have blown my expectations out of the water.
I mean, it's
It's
probably the
and
same for me as
everyone. It's the
well.
case for everybody. It's the
Yeah.
case for everybody, right? But even if they had won 8 games, that would have blown my mind.
Maybe
You know what
not
I'm saying?
blow
For
my
them to
mind, but it
be
definitely would have still been shocking. What's
yeah.
blowing my mind is what they are now. You know,
And
but
I'm on record about how I felt about the Colts. I did like their offensive line. I do like their weapons. We both love Tyler Warren. We thought their defense was fine. I mean,
they
that's
have
probably what they've
pieces.
been
You know what I mean?
towards. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have pieces. It's mainly Daniel. It's the Daniel Jones component that I just didn't see come in.
Yeah, me neither.
But they're scoring. They're scoring more points per drive than the '07 Patriots. That to me, when you see a stat like that, because you watch Red Zone, you just hear the Colts are they're scoring again, they're doing good again, this at the third. To
It's
see them
always
in the
like
like to be
Jonathan
10%
Taylor-led.
better. Yeah, it's always Johnson. For them to be 10% better on points per drive, which is 3.4 instead of 3.18, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that is actually a huge difference. That's
Because it's per
10%
drive.
more
There's a lot. Yeah.
per
No.
drive. Like that is insane.
It's
That
pretty
because
fucking
the
incredible.
their '07 Patriots are the best offense this century. Like this is you know what I'm saying? Like last 2 or 3 decades at least. Like it's when you're in that category, it kind of blows you away. So even though we have like these biases and these conceived notions, it's you got to take it at face value. And they're playing amazing, and maybe they are playing like a contender. And I'm just sipping way too much Drake May Kool-Aid, and
No,
I'm
see, but
off of it right
that's
now.
not what I
But
was saying. I was just saying that I feel as if media is giving them the nod as to
yeah,
like a legit contender, and all I'm saying is if they are, Not saying they aren't, but if they are, then to me the Patriots should be in that same category.
I
Like
get what you're saying. It's
even
like,
if
yeah, you
it's a
can't pick and
second
choose.
tier defender, a contender. Sorry, if it's second tier to like the Chiefs or whatever you want to say. Even if you want to still put Lamar in there or Josh, even I'm not gonna argue it just because they've been there and done it before. I'm just saying
Yeah,
if we're elevating the Colts, the Pats should be right there. I mean, it's a
yeah,
one-win difference on the record. Got to give flowers to the Colts, 6-1. Like, right? Am I wrong? Is it six or are they
yeah.
five?
No,
Six
they're
and one.
also, yeah,
That's incredible. They're the only one lost team in the league
yeah,
because
yeah, they are.
the Bucks just lost again. So yeah, I mean it's been a great season for them, and that goes hand in hand with one of the next points that I just have to admit that I'm wrong, but I wanted to put them up before making it sound like a Texans thing. The Texans are not winning the South.
Oh
I
no.
don't even care that we're not even halfway through. We're right there. So I'm just gonna start saying we are. But it doesn't matter to me. They don't look good. Even if the Colts weren't fantastic like they've been, if they were just like better, like you know what I mean. Like I'm trying to like think about how to put that into words. They don't have to be as great as they are. They'd still probably win this division because of just kind of how bad the Texans have been, and now they're also piling injuries onto it. Already missing Mixon, but we kind of knew that going in. Nico apparently went down yesterday. I don't know how severe that is, but just something to think
Yeah,
about. Something that adds
the
to it.
I didn't think the Texans were going to be this bad. Even like maybe it's just my belief in CJ Stroud. Maybe I'm too quarterback oriented, and that's why I'm not a believer of the Colts. And maybe that's why I'm was so high on the Texans. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying maybe. That's definitely why I was high on the Texans. I thought CJ Stroud would be over to be able to overcome it, and I thought it was a weak division. I didn't see the Jags
I
being this good,
definitely thought the same.
and I mean the Titans are exactly what we thought
I
the
might
Titans were
I
going to
might
be.
genuinely have the division flipped upside down.
Yeah,
Minus the
well,
Titans. Sorry.
yeah, minus the Titans.
So I
Yeah,
guess I
I
wouldn't,
can.
right? But like so it's not literally, but it's like
Well, actually, I have the Titans
outside of
finishing better than
them.
the Colts, so that is crazy
That's
in
kind of what I was saying is
retrospect.
like I think I might have the same. And that was again some quarterback love. It was like Daniel Jones has proven to be bad pretty much. I mean, I don't think
Yeah, and
that's
Anthony
unfair to
Richardson is
say.
really bad.
Yeah,
So
for sure. So we knew that, and then it was like you're the number one pick for a reason. We're gonna give you a little bit of that benefit of the doubt, and it's not like we had. I think we both had him at like 5 wins. It's not a lot. It was
yeah,
just that's how bad we thought the Colts were gonna be, which is what makes it even more shocking as to what they are. Like
definitely.
wild start to the season. Some
But
no
I think it's good when the Colts are good, though. I'm gonna be honest. If maybe it's nostalgia, but when the Steelers, Patriots, and Colts are good like this, it just feels right. And
in
maybe
the
that's crazy to
Eagles.
say. Yeah, and the Eagles, yeah. But you get what I'm saying? It's like though
Couple that out.
it just feels like everything's right in the world. Maybe that's just because I'm putting it on the Patriots more so than anything, but
No, you're
it's just
segueing
cool.
things perfectly. So I don't want to say anything more about the Texans
Yeah,
because they've
they're
been
just
disappointing.
disappointing.
They've been disappointing. So I'm
That's
gonna
it. Yeah.
you've given me another good segue. I'm gonna take it into the next thing that I feel I have to admit I was wrong about, and I come from a family of Steelers fans, so they're gonna love to hear this part.
We're both
I
wrong,
said
so
that they were going to be below 500. I'm willing to concede that at a minimum. Like I'm wrong on
they're
that.
winning this
I gotta
division.
think. Yeah, I think they are too. People are still talking like Baltimore's going to somehow pull it out. At this point, I believe it's going to
Nah,
be Pittsburgh. Uh, but I have to also admit even more because the take
they're
was
10
below
games back.
500. But what the heck is going on with the defense? So that was like we were like, well, maybe they could get it done because A Rod. You know, we had talked at least prior to giving the actual conclusion of what the record prediction was going to be. He's just saying, he does it with Mason Rudolph and he does it with Justin Fields and you know what I mean, just all these
Yeah.
random below average, below par quarterbacks. So we were saying if A Rod could just be better, which he was statistically with the Jets better than what they got, like we were
Mm,
saying, like there's a chance, and we both came to the same conclusion of never mind. Like even though
yeah.
that the defense is good, we went never mind. Their defense has not been what they've always been, and that to me is insane. So I didn't mean to cut you off on what you were saying. The Steelers being good, yes, it's nostalgic, but the Steelers aren't the Steelers. That's weird to me. They're not a defensive oriented team. They're not making plays defensively, shutting teams down, and winning these ugly sloppy games like we're used to. They're in shootouts with the
Mhm.
Bengals on Thursday Night Football, letting Joe Flacco light them up like it's 2012. I don't know what this means.
Yeah. And they spend the most on that side of the ball. That's the really
Yes,
concerning part to me. Like for you to be a below average defense and you spend that much money, it's very concerning. It's a net negative in all regards. So I expect them to win this division at this point because they really do have like a 10-game lead on the Ravens. Like it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like that's I don't see how you can overcome that, honestly.
Did they allow
Unless there's
30
an
plus to
absolute
the
collapse.
Jets? I know it's week one, but like
Yikes. No, but
they allowed
yikes.
30 plus to the Justin Field led Jets, which will again segue me into my next wrong. I don't want to skip the Steelers. We're gonna stay on that
Yeah.
subject, but
Yeah.
uh, it's just
The
it's been a weird season because the reason I thought they'd be below 500 is I wasn't willing to say that Aaron Rodgers was going to 100% give them better quarterback play, but I also anticipated that their below 500 season in my book was going to be 8, 9, 7, and 10. Like that's what I was
yeah.
expecting their floor to be still. And I just didn't think that they had a higher ceiling than 9 wins, if I'm being honest. So
Yeah.
I was wrong.
I I'm still in the boat though where I think Mike Tomlin is holding this team back. Um,
I,
if I'm being completely honest. His decision making, he plays scared football. He plays football not to lose. And that's just not the way that the NFL should be played, in my opinion, at this point. Like the game should not be played in the NFL like that. Like statistically, you need to play you need to be aggressive. You need to go for it on fourth downs. You need to not punt in fourth and twos. You have to be ahead of the game. And it feels like Mike Tomlin has let the game I don't want to say has let the game pass him by because he's still a decent coach, but he's not like unquestionably great anymore, in my opinion. Maybe maybe that's too harsh, but he feels like he's been a detriment to this team.
no, I don't think I disagree with you. I'm curious to know how Steelers fans feel. I actually wanted to kind of get your take on something. Did you have the opportunity to watch that Thursday night game? The
Yeah.
Bengals. Okay. Um, I talked with again. I said I come from a family of Steelers fans. I talked with my mom, big Steelers fan. She was. I had texted her good game. She said to me, and she's never really. She's not like us where if the team loses, she's just an awful person the rest of the day. So it surprised me when she said this. She was like, "How can you say it's a good game when Jamar's got she didn't say it like this, but when Jamar's got 23 targets and 60 catches, she said, "Why is Jamar Chase always open?" And to which I tried to reply with, "Well, it's Jamar Chase." But is she right or am I right? Because I don't know.
It's definitely somewhere in the middle. 23 targets is like third most all time. That is like insane. Like unprecedented level of just getting open. But it's Jamar Chase. Like it's a Hall of Fame talent out there. It's
Okay, I just needed the take. I needed the take because I told her I was like, it's Jamar. It's kind of like in Cooper Cup's Triple Crown year where it's like, how is Cooper Cup open? Or even Travis Kelsey. You know what I mean? Like it's just like when someone's great, you could scheme for him, and yes, you
or
want more
CMC.
attention to him. Yeah, even him. But when someone's great, they're gonna get it done. It's just what they do. So it probably is somewhere a little more in the middle. But when you give a guy like Jamar Chase 23 chances, yeah, he's gonna make a play, or two, or
Yeah.
three, or four, or 16. So I'm gonna a couple more things that I just want to not skip over, not glance over. But this was our return episode, so we were more heavy focused on kind of talking Eagles, Patriots, and the last few weeks that we've missed. But a couple more things that I feel that I need to either admit I was wrong or maybe concede a little bit of ground on is I'm done with Justin Fields. That's what I was saying about the Jets. I'm done. I've always tried to remain optimistic
Taking
and
my
say that
bag.
I like him. Yeah, no, you've think about bags, crazy word. You've always not necessarily always been like rudely about it, but you when you're out, you're out, and you were very adamant that he's just not the guy. I tried to remain uh optimistic, like I said, even when he was a Steeler. Then with the Jets, I think we talked about him in our predictions. I thought maybe he could be good enough to get a couple wins, and hopefully Aaron Glenn and his defensive culture over there could stack the rest. But I'm out. I'm done. Justin Fields, I'm sorry, dude. You might be a decent backup, maybe even a future
Negative 10
Eagles
passing
backup.
yards in a game. Negative
it,
10 passing yards in a game.
it's awful. It's been awful. It's been
Yeah.
disgusting. So I'm gonna skip over them. There's no reason to even talk. They don't have a win. Jets suck.
Yeah.
It sucks
They
to like
blow.
just
And
admit,
it's
but it's
great.
awful. Yeah, no, it's I'm saying it sucks for their fans.
No,
I
you
don't
know,
got
well,
no
screw their
personal love,
fans.
but fair enough. Screw the
Get
Cowboys.
some chest
Anyways,
back out there.
Raiders improvement doesn't exist.
Nope, not at all.
I said
Super wrong about
I
that.
said, yeah,
Reproachful.
between Gino and Pete Carroll and Ashton Genty, that's done a whole lot of nothing besides beat the Pats.
Okay. I was wrong about Gino. That's the main thing. He is not top 12. He's bottom 12 right now. I was so off on that, bro. I was coping.
Just when I
I
started
was coping.
conceding a little bit too, he wants to show his true
Yes,
colors,
I
and that's
know,
what
bro.
sucks the most. It's like I could have just stayed true to myself and hated for longer.
Yeah.
I never hated Gino. I just hated when he got the MVP love in Seattle.
Bro,
That
you're the
was
difference. You gotta doubt him again. He needs doubters, bro. You gotta write him off.
oh yeah, you're right. Let me write him a
That's
letter
what it
about how he's
is.
done.
Yeah, you gotta write him off.
And then the
He's not
last
gonna write
thing I
back
did
though.
want to kind of hit on, I'm sure we're both willing to concede this. Actually, we already did. Ravens aren't winning the division. I don't think they are.
Hell,
Maybe somehow they can go on a crazy run. I've seen the rest of their schedule. It's not great. However, their defense is even worse. So,
yeah.
um,
We talked about that a little bit on that actually. You
yeah,
were like, how can you see the Ravens being bad? Like it was just a throwaway question or whatever you want to say, and I was like, yeah, their defense was awful to start last year. That just might be the case, and of course it was just a throwaway. Like that's not gonna happen. It happened. It's unbelievable. Like they're so star-studded. I can't. Again, it's another case where it's like I got to put it on the head coach to some extent. Like Harbaugh, like what are we doing?
no, I,
What
I
are we doing?
completely agree. I think it might be time for a change there. So, I mean, it's gonna let me get a question before we get to our victory laps. All right,
Mm,
who goes first? Sean McDermott or Harbaugh? John Harbaugh.
Harbaugh.
You think
Harbaugh.
so? I think I'm in the same boat, but I also feel like if the Bills don't win the division and go 0-2 against you guys,
Oh yeah,
he might
good
get it
point.
first because Harbaugh might be able to, he might be able to get away with one more year just because of all the injuries, Lamar being the
Mm,
main one, right? I feel like there's a chance he gets away with it. If I had to put money on it, I'd probably go McDermott. Just if they go 0-2 to you guys, don't win the division, I think he's out. They'd have
yeah,
to
that,
they'd have to win they'd have to get to the championship in my opinion, and even then I don't know if that's enough at this point.
well, I mean, they've had an unprecedented level of success over the last 7 years. They will be the first team to have won this many games, this many titles, been this far in the playoffs to not have appeared in a Super Bowl. Like unprecedented level of like bad luck or whatever you want to say. Just not ability to go the distance. That's a problem. I think it's more likely that the Ravens don't win this division than it is that the Bills go 0-2 to us, and I think that's what it comes down to for me. If I'm taking that bet,
Let's do
the
a
Bills are
personal
the
bet
Bills are
then.
probably going to beat us.
We'll do a
Okay, so
B Dubs on whatever game the Sixers and Celtics play. It's not going to be opening night because that's tomorrow. But we'll make a bet. When do you guys play next? Do you know when you play them?
we
What?
play them after the bye week in like I think week 13.
So November.
Yeah,
All
it's
right. So then
early December.
we'll probably I was gonna say we'll probably have a freaking December game against you guys. We'll figure it out. All right. Time to take some victory laps. Um, we already kind of talked about this one, but I was sipping that Drake May Kool-Aid, so this has been cool. This has been a nice start to the year.
Oh yeah.
He's been fantastic, and I think we've glazed a good amount. Not
Hey,
enough,
I'm down to
but a
double
good amount.
glaze. I'm down to
Go
double
ahead, go
glaze.
ahead,
I'm
go
down to
ahead. One
double
more
dip.
time, go ahead.
He's MVP. End of sentence for me. He's
All
MVP.
right, there we go. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
One of the other things I kind of want to toot my own horn and concede some ground on this one. I know it sounds stupid, but 49ers schedule, we both said it, super easy. Their record is they are currently the top of their division. I just don't think it's going to last. They're so banged up. They lose another key piece every week, and it's always a very long-term injury. So no Bosa, no Warner for the rest of the season. That's not going to change. So they might be leading it now, and we might have called how easy that their schedule may be, but
And they
also,
find a way
it's a
to
right
win.
and a wrong at the
Too.
same time, in my opinion. Mac's been great filling in for Brock Purdy, but I just don't think they'll be able to keep pace with the Rams. Is more so what it's about, uh, especially with the injuries they've had.
Yeah, I want to take a victory lap on this too. I feel like I hit the bullseye on the NFC West. I feel like we both did. Unfortunately, his injuries are probably going to make it to the Niners. Don't win this division potentially. I mean, they find game ways to win. Like it's weird. They just find a way to win. Unfortunately for everyone else in this division, but we were like Rams. We could see them hoisting the Lombardi. They look like contenders. We were both in on the Seahawks to some extent. Like I thought they were a playoff team. And the Cardinals are awful. I mean, it sucks they've won these games in lost these games in heartbreaking fashion. And the difference between losing 3 games is like 3 points in total for them. Like that is ridiculously, that's ridiculous luck, or ridiculously unlucky. But they're an awful team,
I
and they
agree.
can't overcome this at this point. They might as well start selling stuff. Kyler Murray, sayonara, you're out of there. Jacoby Brissett has looked more
Future
consistent
Steeler.
than you have this year. Future Steeler. I don't know if they'd be happy with that. Just
At
Kyler
this
Murray
point,
and Mike
yeah,
Tomlin. Oh God.
Kyler would have had to play. okay for him to get that shot.
Yeah.
I tried to take a full court in like preseason. He's been so
Future
bad,
Saint.
so bad.
I realize actually been good.
That's funny because that's my next victory lap. So the Saints are gonna be trash. I mean, they are what they are. They're so bad.
They're a good. Hey, they're a good 1-16. It is.
Yeah, I'd say that too if they
Like,
took me to the buzzer.
okay.
Oh,
They took the Bills to the buzzer too.
next victory lap I'm taking also has some cope in it. Broncos defense, man, they're so real. They're so
Oh, yeah.
real.
So legit.
That's definitely the only reason we lost to them. Definitely didn't choke a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter. So
Not at all.
yeah,
That's
no, their Broncos defense, they're legit. Nick Benito might be defensive player of the year. Wouldn't put my money on it, but
And
definitely
then
deserves some love.
and take a victory lap on your Vikings take as well. I thought they were going to be significantly better because I
Man,
believed in JJ McCarthy a little bit,
not- It's hard for me to
with
take a
more
victory
Kelsey.
lap. I have some love for Minnesota for personal reasons, so it's hard for me to really bash them. I did think that they were going to take a step back and that they would finish last in their division, so it does seem right. However, I don't know if I got the rest of that division right. So it's like, yay! Oh no,
Yeah, well,
I
I mean,
did have
we
the
had the
Lions winning
Packers
it.
winning it.
I had the
Oh, you had the
Lions.
Lions winning it. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I had the
that's on the
Lions.
board. That's for real on the board.
And then I have,
They're,
but I
they're a
had,
dominant team.
I'm pretty sure I had 3 teams from that division still making it to the playoffs though, so I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it. But yes, I did think the Vikings would miss it and it wouldn't be relatively close. I thought that there was a good chance. They had a historic drop off in wins, so
Mm.
yeah, a little pat on my own shoulder,
Looking like the case.
pat on my back.
And I was wrong about the Bears. I mean, this is like a wrong statement for me. Like I felt right about the Packers and Lions, of course. Everyone could see that coming. Who cares? I thought the Bears would just be very mediocre. They're tied with the longest win streak in the NFL with, of course, the Patriots, 4 win streak, what I'm saying, type shit. But like they surprised me. I thought they might win like 8 games. For them to win 4 in a row, I didn't think that was gonna happen at any point in the season. So
So Caleb looks better as the weeks go on. He looks more comfortable in that offense.
yeah,
Ben,
glad you said that.
Ben,
Not Drake May though. Not better than Drake May. I think they say that.
no, yeah, just
No,
better,
no.
better regarding his play from last year. I mean, the weird, the weird thing about this quarterback, the last quarterback situation in the last 2 drafts is I feel like each year it's going to change the order. Last year everyone was probably ready to say that Jaden's the best, not ready to write off Caleb, and Drake May was kind of like an afterthought.
Everyone loves, but he's on a bad team.
It's a project, but he's a Patriot and he didn't start the year right away. Blah blah blah, whatever. Right now, I think everyone's sipping the Kool-Aid, which I bid on it. Though I bid on it. It's a good flavor. It's a good flavor.
It's a great flavor. It's a great flavor.
So,
DM10.
I don't know, man. It's been incredible.
I was
All
wrong
right,
about
mid-season awards. You want to
Yeah.
rattle at the top of my head
Well,
because I didn't write this down.
Yeah, I just want to say I was wrong about the Giants. Just slip that in there.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't think they were. I thought they were gonna be. They already have more wins than I thought they
I don't
would.
wanna talk
I mean,
about
they're still a
the
bad
Giants.
team. Still a bad team. I know. That's why I'm just slipping it in at the end. Plus,
All right, pause. Yeah.
I want them. I was wrong about them. I don't know why I said I want them. I was really wrong about them, and I just gotta say that. Yeah. But I hope we blow them out in prime time. That's
Hey,
just
we
what
got
I
them this week, and we're wearing Kelly Greens, and it's in Philly. We gonna get our get back.
Yeah, put them in the dirt.
Hopefully.
Get them tenderized for us when we play them in a few weeks here.
Well, we play them, and then we got a bye week, so I'm hoping that we
MVP.
can continue this.
Drake May. Coach of the year, Mike Vrabel. Offensive player of the year, Drake May. Defensive player of the year, Drake May. And comeback player of the year, Drake May.
Fair enough. All right, mine.
Yep.
For MVP, I don't want to say.
Nah,
that,
I'll
man.
be for real.
I don't wanna
MVP is
say it,
probably Stafford for me.
I'm gonna go. I mean, if we did this last week, it would have been nice because I could have said Baker, but I watched last night and it didn't look good. I don't
Also,
wanna
they
say
struggle in
Mahomes,
games
though,
that
man.
they shouldn't. Mahomes is probably second for me.
I don't want to say
reason
him
why
because I'm a
Baker
hater, but it's probably Mahomes right now.
was scary to me because he would be in games with teams that he shouldn't have to be in one-score games. Like the degree of difficulty, like elevated where he was for me in the MVP odds. Because like being 5-1, awesome. Why are you having to have a game-winning drive against the Falcons and against the Jets and
Yeah, but it was
against the
also like
Seahawks when
the
they're missing
passing
7
numbers.
starters?
Passing
Yes,
numbers
yes,
were
of course.
electric. He's making Igbuka like offensive rookie of the year, which would be my prediction for that one. Defensive rookie of the year, screw Abdul, give me Jihad.
Mhm.
Defensive player of the year,
Offensive.
you're probably Micah,
Mhm.
right? I'm leaning Hutch right
Yeah,
now.
Micah.
It's halfway through, right? So these are just kind of like not even necessarily predictions. I'm kind of like crowning who I'd want to crown at this present moment. So
Yeah.
reluctantly, it would have been
So-
Mahomes, but I'd go Depoy. I'd probably go Hutchinson, and then coach of the year for me, it's got to be Shane. I mean, 6-1. I didn't expect anything from them. Uh, yeah,
I
had God probably
agree.
have to go Shane. He's an offensive minded head coach. Their offense is historically great through 7 games. I'm gonna have to give it to Shane. But
So
comeback player
for
of the
me,
year. I
MVP,
don't know
comeback player of the
who
year,
got shot.
probably
Ricky?
CMC.
No, I'm just playing.
It's probably CMC.
It
Who
probably is
got
CMC.
shot? Ricky is crazy work. Got
Uh,
his back wet.
yeah.
Um,
Oh Lord.
MVP probably Stafford. He just had a 5 touchdown game. Maybe it's a little recency bias, but I feel like he's leading the league in touchdowns and passes and
Puka.
completion or not completion percentages,
MVP of my fantasy team.
and yards. So for me, it's Stafford currently. Comeback player of the year. I'm going out of order here. Comeback player of the year, CMC. Coach of the year, probably Shane Steichen. I'm gonna give it to Mike Vrabel. I don't care. Offensive rookie of the year, Tyler Warren for me. I think Ibuka is gonna. He's gonna be a little hampered a little bit with this like hamstring thing. I know he played, but I think it's gonna be kind of something that slows him down just a little bit because the race was close for me. So I'm going that.
It's
Offensive
valid,
player of the
but
year, it can't be anyone but Jonathan Taylor. Let's
yeah.
be completely transparent. It can't be anyone but him at this point.
I guess
Defensive player of the year,
yeah. I
Micah,
was gonna say I would
Leroy.
argue Puka, but the injury is probably gonna take him a little bit out of the
It derailed
rotation.
him, yeah.
But yeah,
And when you get that many touches, it's gonna derail you. To me, there was no way Puka stayed on that trajectory because that's just too much wear and
yeah,
tear on
it
the body.
is a lot. But also the way he got injured was like kind of,
Freakish.
I don't want to say freakish, just that it's unlucky at the end of the day. Like he got hurt because a
Yeah.
player fell on him, not because he got tackled, but because he went up for a ball, almost caught it. By the way, it would have been incredible. Would have loved it for my fantasy team, but I'm so big.
I think he's so tough though. I think he was banged up most of the time. He's just such a tough
Yeah,
player.
I do agree with that point as well. But yeah, so
But
those are it's good to be back, man. It's always good to talk football. So
oh yeah,
I'm happy to be back.
oh,
We'll
yeah.
get back to it, get on the schedule again, get them posting, start really plugging the, the socials.
Socials, yeah.
But,
Let's just hit that right now. Just wings versus rings everywhere you can find it.
yeah,
That's
damn right.
right there.
We're gonna upload it. It's good to be back. Go Birds. Drake
Go
Lee Mays,
Pats.
him, Jalen
He
Alexander
is.
Hurts, who are my king, perfect passer rating. That's my goat. Yeah, man.
Whereas baby Schnookums.
5-2. It
Think
feels it's different
5-2.
different 5-2s, but
Yeah.
also it's the
But
same.
still look at exactly.
But it's also the same. Leading the
Yes,
East.
sir.
What do you know? Crown us now.
would've-
Season's over now.
Who would have thought it was us?
And we could take a victory
Sure.
lap on that ish. I mean, I don't know how you're feeling about the Cowboys or the rest of my division, but we both said that the Eagles are going to win the division, which is literally like 20 years of like improbability, against us
Freaking
because there's been no
streak.
repeat. It's 20 plus. I don't remember what it is exactly, but yeah. So if we really wanted to, we kind of could, but it's closer than I want it to be. Cowboys look better than I thought they'd be, which probably should have been in the wrong category. But yeah.
Yeah, but they're 3-3-1, so I'm holding my breath. I thought they were gonna be close 500.
Their offense is great. Their defense is literally the worst
Oh, yeah.
in the league. We'll move on. We'll leave it there.
But we
Go
thought.
Birds. Screw the Cowboys. We
Go
out.
Pats. Thank you guys for watching.